first thing I'm going to do is put this hair back because I cannot work with my hair in my face. And for primer today, I'm using the Catrice Cosmetics Prime and Fine Pore Refining Anti-Shine Base. For foundation, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. And I'm going to blend it in with this Morphe sponge. And I'm also bringing it down my neck, that way you can't see like where the foundation starts and where it ends. So I would say this foundation is kind of like a light to medium coverage. For concealer today, I'm using MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and I'm in the shade NC20. So I'm just putting that under my eyes and in the center of my face. So because this concealer creases a bit, I'm gonna set it right away. To set, I'm gonna use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. And I'm using mine in the shade Fair because I like a brightening kind of look. I'm just gonna take some of that powder on my sponge and just press it into the skin. And I'm looking up so that way I can get into the creases of my eyes. I'm not really baking, I'm just pressing the powder into my skin, and that kind of gives you that flawless finish. I really love this powder. Like, it makes my skin look so poreless. I just can't get enough. So for bronzing today, I'm using the Brontour by Morphe. This is the shade Celebutante. It's Celebrity and Debutante. So I'm gonna just mix the two, and I'm just gonna start going over the perimeter of my face. I'm just making sure to work that really well into my skin and make sure it's super blended. I'm just gonna give some color to my nose. Not really contouring, I'm just kind of giving myself color. Kind of spreading the bronzer onto my cheeks. Okay, so I think I went a little overboard, so I'm gonna blend a bit more, but I'm gonna use a finishing powder. So this is NYX HD finishing powder, and this is the shade Banana. And I'm just gonna go over any spots that look a little unblended. Alright, I think we can move on to the eye look now. So I'm just grabbing my palette here. This is the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. It looks like this, and I'm just gonna use the really basic shades in here. To start off, I'm taking the shade Transition. I'm just gonna take that shade and go into my crease just to give my eyes a bit of color, just on the outer edge and then in my crease. So I'm just making sure to blend in this color really well. Now I'm just taking a clean brush and I'm just going to go over everything just to make sure that there's really no harsh lines. Now I'm going to go into the red shade in the palette. It's the other transition shade. Just sticking this into my outer corner and maybe like halfway through my crease. And I'm keeping a more rounded kind of shape because I want it to look more natural or more effortless, I should say. So I'm not winging it out or anything like that. Maybe with blending, but as far as like color placement, I'm just keeping it more rounded. And I'm not worried too much about blending right now. I'm just kind of placing the color. So then now I'm just going to go back into that same brush that I used for the first shade. And I'm just going to go over what I just did. I'm actually going to pick up the red shade and use it with this brush because it is a little more fluffy. And I'm just gonna go over that too. Going back in with that clean brush, just gonna go over everything. And I'm gonna take a little bit more of the transition shade. So I'm pretty happy with how that looks. I just wanted something pretty simple in the crease because I'm gonna move on to a shimmer shade that's like so bomb. You guys are gonna love it. But before I go in and mess with that, which has a lot of fallout, I am gonna bake my under eyes. That way if I do get any fallout, it just lands on the powder and I can just, you know, fluff it away. So I'm just gonna take some of my Nye Neutral Set. I would use the Maybelline one, but it kind of does get cakey, so that's why I'm using this one because it's a little lighter in texture, I should say. I'm gonna go in with my sponge again and just pick up a good amount and go right underneath my eyes. And I'm gonna look crazy, but it's gonna be worth it. Yeah, I really do look crazy. Alright, so now going in with the shimmer shade, which this thing is so awesome. This is the BH Diamond Dazzler and it's in the shade Flashy. I think I'm gonna take it on my finger. Yeah, I'm gonna take it on my finger because I feel like the brush doesn't really pick it up that well. So I'm just gonna go straight in with my finger, dry, nothing else. I'm just gonna dip in my ring finger and I'm gonna like kind of tap it and push it in on the back of my hand. That way I'm not getting too much fallout. Then I'm gonna just take this and go right over. See like how crazy pigmented that is? Oh my gosh, it's so intense. I'm getting really excited. And like, look how easy that was. I just threw it on. I'm gonna go in with the brush just a little bit later, but for now I'm gonna do it on the other eye. Like, look at how intense that is. And I think these are only like between $5 and $6. Okay, I really do love these things. I only have like 2 colors, but I think I want to get more because they're so nice and they're so easy to use. And then I'm going to take that small brush that I used to place the red shade and I'm just gonna, you know, blend the edges just slightly. And what I like about these loose pigments is that, you know, they're not like completely loose pigments. They have like some kind of binder in them, which makes them really easy to blend, and you're not just like fluffing them away and getting it all over yourself. Okay, so I'm gonna dip into the Not a Basic Peach palette by Wet n Wild, and I'm gonna take the dark brown shade and just give myself a little intensity on the outer corner. I'm just doing the same technique that I always do because it's literally foolproof. Like, no matter what eye shape you have, this technique just works. I'm just blending a little line on the outer corner, and like I said, I am keeping this kind of rounded so I don't want to go too much of like a wing shape. And then I'm gonna go back in with the red and just blend that. And then just going back in with that first shade that I used and just going over everything. Alright, I think I'm good with that there. So I'm gonna dust away all this powder that I have on my face. I'm dusting away the majority of it just by like lightly, you know, pushing, because I don't want to like spread all that glitter. And then I'm gonna go in with my smaller brush and like actually work in the powder. For liner today, I'm gonna be using a kohl liner. This is in the shade Trendsetter by Morphe, and I'm just gonna run this brown shade along my lash line. I'm actually gonna warm it up on the back of my hand just to get it soft, and I'm just messily going across my lash line. And then I'm going to blend it with a small little brush. I'm also picking up that brown shade from the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. Alright, now on to lashes. I'm gonna put some mascara on first. So this is my favorite mascara ever. This is the Essence False Lash Mascara. And I'm just gonna give my lashes a little bit of a coat. You could definitely just use this mascara by itself and it would work just fine. You don't even need to put false lashes over it. Hence the name False Lash Mascara. So now for my false lashes. These are the Morphe lashes and I think the style Chummy. And when applying lashes, you always want to make sure that you let the glue dry a little bit, because if you don't, you just stick it straight onto your eye while it's still wet, it's just going to slip inside anywhere and you don't want that. So make sure it's a little dry and tacky before you put it on your eyes. So I'm just going to line the underneath side of my lashes, that way the lashes blend a bit better. So for brows today, I'm just using my same old. This is NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Taupe, and I use the shade Taupe because I like a lighter kind of natural brow. Oh my gosh, I just ran out. Here, I'm like over here rolling it up and nothing's coming out because it's like I'm at the little nub that's left over. Since I'm running out of my brow pencil, I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of brow powder just to fill in any gaps that I missed. Okay, and then I'm gonna set my brows with the Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Mascara. Moving on to the lower lash line, I'm just gonna use the brown orange transition shade that I use and then the red color, and that's it. Before I move on to blush and highlight, I am gonna do my lips first because I'm doing a red color. So I'm taking the NYX Lip Liner in Hot Red and then the e.l.f. Liquid Matte Lipstick, and this is in the shade Red Vixen. I'm gonna take these out of my hair now. So now that I have the red lip on, I'm gonna need to give my skin a little bit more color. So I'm just going back in with my bronzer and I'm just gonna go over my cheeks and then I'll finish off with blush. I'm just gonna take a little tiny bit of this blush from Morphe. It's in the shade Driven. And then for highlight today, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills I'm Raising highlighter. Okay, so I'm gonna set my face with the Scandinavia makeup finishing spray. This is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed today's makeup look. If you did, please give it a like. Also subscribe to my channel down below. And I hope you guys stick around with me, and I'll see you guys in my next video.